Hey guys, Dave Lefebre here. I'm sitting out here on my mom's sunroom porch, just a swinging. So you can't beat this. It's super cold up in Pennsylvania where I live. 70 degrees right now. I'm loving it down here in Florida. So just wrapped up the Kissimmee Bass Pro Tour event, the first one ever. And I'm going to take you through my practice as well as the tournament days. And I was using the ANGLR app and the Bullseye throughout practice and the tournament. And this is just some freaking really cool technology that I'm anxious to share with you. This is something that's a real tool for serious fishermen like me, or if you're just into logbooks and keeping notes and remembering things and going back and reviewing things, basically just keeping a notebook on fishing. This is definitely for you too. So what I'm going to do, I'm in my trips now, and I'm just going to not talk about the technology too much. I just want to jump right into it and show you my Toho practice. This is practice day one. You can see all my days are right here. I'm going to go into map view, toggle some stuff on here. We're going to go to practice day one. There's the lake. Move my picture over here a little bit. We're going to go to my packs. Day one. Okay. So as you can see, this is the first day. This day it poured down rain. It was just miserable conditions to be in the boat for the very first time for 2019. But so what happened here is, if you watch my Hurricane Dave video, you'll see my tracks don't start until over here. So hopefully you can see my cursor. This is where I actually turned the app on. If you watch Hurricane Dave video, you'll see me running. I ran around this point like this, shut down right here, and then idled in through this little chute right here. And this is real close to the boat ramp, place that I'm pretty familiar with. I just wanted to take a look at it and see what it looked like, see what the water level was. I'm just real familiar with this area. So I just wanted to try to get some bites and just sit down somewhere where I was familiar. Got a good look at the watercolor. Again, it was pouring down rain the entire day. It never let up. But right as soon as I started fishing, I had a bite right here. And this was my first bite of 2019. And it was a good one. It was like a 3.5 pounder. And it jumped. I never set the hook on it. It was on a swim jig. And it was within the first 5 minutes of fishing right there. And then you can see, follow my tracks right here. This is the second bite I had. And all these orange waypoints, it's a sighting is what the title of that waypoint is. So I'm in practice, I'm using that a lot, trying not to catch too many fish. This is the second one I hooked. And luckily I didn't put any pressure on it, and it got off. It was about a 3 pounder, which was pretty good. Then I had a couple more smaller bites, and then this is the first one I caught, which was like a pound one, just a barely scoreable bass for Major League Fishing. So that's that one right there. So that's the first fish I caught in 2019. But I didn't spend much time in there. Had those 4 bites. Didn't see the other 2, but assumed they were keepers. And then I just kind of got out of there. I kind of knew that I found something at least right off the bat in the morning. Ran over here, did a little loop-de-loop. I was looking at the end of this point where I'd fished before. I've seen schoolers there in the past, so I just wanted to take a look at it, but it was way too windy and rough to see anything. So I just kept on trucking, went about halfway down the lake. And if you follow this track right here, I landed right in this area. I'll zoom out so you can see where I'm at. I don't know the names of anything, but we're still on Lake Toho here. And I pretty much decided to spend my entire practice in Toho and just spend a lot of time fishing and learning. I mean, every tournament can be won in Toho, so I just decided not to make the long run. But you can see where I came in, and I finished second in the last summer in the the ICAST tournament with Gene Jensen, Fluke Master. And we caught him in this area, So I wanted to just take a look at it. We had 17, 18 pounds, I think. And it just looked completely different. I don't know if it was from the hurricane last year or what, but it was all wide open. It wasn't like it used to be. Went right through the same areas. And this right here is a fish that I could have caught but didn't. And that was the only bite I ended up having in there. So I pretty much wrote that area off. I didn't like the way it looked. And you know, when you see all these squiggly lines, that's me on the trolling motor. That's a lot of miles on the trolling motor. And I pretty much ran in here, took a look just to see what it looked like, and then I headed back. You can see right here on practice day 1, I ran, 17 and a half miles. It shows the one catch that I had, 5 waypoints. The other 4 were just sighting waypoints, fish that I saw or had bite. So I ran over, took a quick look at the mouth of this creek right here. I've caught some fish right there in the past, and then I headed in. One thing I wanted to do on the first day in the rain was just make sure that the trails looked the same. There's the trail that I ran through. So I made sure that I marked that. I'm moving a pin there, but see, you can actually adjust things on the fly, which is really cool. I can even add, like if I wanted to add something right now, say there's a log floating out there and I didn't want to hit it, I could just pull this log over here and pop it right where I want it. You can scroll through these and see all the icons. It's just a freaking awesome program. So you can see I ran back to the ramp, and as I often do, I did a little loop-de-loo over here just to see, just to take a look at the grass right here. There's a lot of release fish released here, and I've never spent a tournament real close to here, but I always look at it, and I fished until it got dark. So I just fished right through here until it got dark. There was actually a lot of guys in that area, but you can see I pulled the boat out, and you can see that I forgot to turn the app off, and I drove all the way over here, and I got lost right here on this corner. You can see my double U-turns before I headed off to where I was staying. So now we're going to go to practice day 2. I'm going to take you back to my profile, and I'm going to move me way over there. My trips. And we're going to go to practice day 2, which is right here. And I'm going to show you what I did on practice day 2. So I'm going to click put in at the boat ramp right there. So these are my actual tracks. I could speed this up, but I just want you to see. It's just a really cool thing. You can replay your entire trip for the day. It's something you can't do on your Lowrances, But together with the ANGLR app and my Lowrances, I mean, I obviously can't live without either one of them. So it's really cool to have both and use them both to your advantage. So on day 2, I decided to check this southeast corner of the lake. I'm going to push pause right here. This is where I started fishing. So I'm going to go back to, I just want to show you, go back into map view here. I'm going to drop all my pins. This is practice day 2. Practice day 2. And it was a much nicer day this day. It was still windy, but at least the rain stopped. So on practice day 2, I started down here in this corner, and I just decided I wanted to see if I could get any bites, but my plan was to spend the whole day in here if it looked good. And the grass looked as good as it had looked in the past. I did really well in a PAA tournament, made the top 10, did good in another FLW event, and I fished in this area both times. And this is where I started. Came in here, got in these boat lanes, and these are all fish catches. I caught one here. I don't know. Let me see if I got pictures on any of these. I think I took some pictures. I'm not sure. But see, the cool thing is I can go in here and push edit, and I can even add pictures if I have those on my phone or if I have them, wherever. And I can add notes right here. So you can either do that as you fish or come back in and do it later, which is cool. But let me just see if I have a picture here. I might not. Nope. So anyway, these are all catches. None of these were very big. The first one was like a 2-pounder. These were all just over 1 pound. This one here was actually a good one, like a 4-pounder. Whoops, didn't want to move that. This one here was another short one. And I was just covering water on a trolling motor. And this is actually, more than a mile. Came out here, got out in the scattered stuff, and then I ran down to the other end. I'm going to zoom out so you can see where I'm at. There's a public boat ramp right here. But you can see where I cut in right here. I actually fished my way in because I've caught fish out here in the scattered hydrilla before. So I wanted to fish my way in. There's a point right here of grass. And I actually marked a couple other points where I've caught fish in the past, but I never ended up getting a bite out there. You could throw a chatterbait or a speed worm or a trap of some kind, rip and wrap. But I didn't get any bites in that stuff. But came back in shallow, and I'm going to look for pictures again because I just don't remember. I'm kind of reliving this trip with you. But I came in here, and this was a good one, like a 3+. This was also a good one, and these two, this one here I caught was a 3-pounder. These two, I actually went with hooklet. I actually cut the hook off my bait. It was a shuttering jig. It's like a chatterbait, and I had these 2 bites, and one of them was a big one, I think. And then that's when I went out and looked at all this deep stuff. I never had a bite. Ran back into here, and this was a giant, I think. Yeah, there's a picture. That was an 8.6 that I caught on a shuttering bait right there in practice. But the funny thing is, I didn't catch these 2 on purpose because I didn't want to catch another big one because this one I caught here was a nice one. And then when I got to this corner right here, I caught a pickerel. So that made me wonder if those other bites were pickerels. So the next bite I got, I set the hook on, and it was that 8.6, which was a huge mistake. It was probably a spawner that I could have caught the next day. So my group A actually fished the next day. So that was one. This is another one about 6 pounds that I accidentally caught. That's a long story. And this one does not have a picture, but that's also a catch. So that was pretty much the end of my day. You can see I fished all around here. I fished out into the scattered stuff out here, and then I ran back. I did look at some other stuff. I went into a canal here. It's around sight fishing time, but the weather was a little cold, so I didn't think it would work. But I'd seen beds in here in the past. That was the best channel that I saw in the past. So I just wanted to check one, see if I could see any beds. Couldn't see anything. Ran in here, and since all this was all blown out compared to what it looked like before, I wanted to go back in the thicker stuff and look. So you can see a lot of this is fishing, probably a mile or more. A lot of fishing right there. And then I headed back. So that was the end of practice day 2. And we're going right straight into the tournament. Go back to my profile, my trips. And the first round is not the elimination round. Okay, let's see here. Where's map view? Day one of the tournament. What do they call that? You guys know better than me. Shotgun round. So this is the first day of the tournament. I had no idea how this was going to work out. I was nervous. There was a lot going through my mind. I did shoot quite a bit of video this day and also took some photos. But as you can see, there's no tracks. Why? Because I forgot to turn the app on. So I went back and uploaded all my GPS waypoints as I took them throughout the first day of the tournament. Every fish that I caught, every fish that I missed, and every fish that I lost. And I took them off my Lowrance and put them into ANGLR, which is another cool thing you can do. So I don't have the tracks, the trails, but I do have the waypoints. Let's see. So I started, I got to zoom back out just to make sure we're in the right place. So in the morning, I was starting right here on the end of this point, working my way through here, and right off the bat, all these yellow angler marks are catches. So that right there was my first fish of the day. I think it was a 3.6. Is there a picture on that? No. But there is a picture on Major League Fishing's website of a 3.6 that I caught right there. My marshal took the picture. No, sorry, my Major League official took the picture, and it's debatable, but that was the first fish caught in Major League Fishing. Gary Klein and somebody else said they caught theirs earlier, but we'll fight it out. Then I missed one right here. So these yellows, the yellow ones are catches, and these pink ones are fish that I had hooked that I lost. And I always keep track of those, and I always mark them on my Lowrances, just so I know fish that I lost. They could be bed fish, whatever. If they're sizable and I think they're good fish, I mark them. So basically, there's nothing. If you could see my tracks, it's just a straight line to this little group right here. This is where I had some of those bites in practice. And you can see all the fish that I caught. I pretty much spent the entire day weaving around through this one little area and picking it apart, just as good as I possibly could. Every little nook and cranny, every lily pad, everything. And I just learned the area. I found out this day that I had a spot that was definitely better than what I expected and good enough to make it all the way to the final championship Sunday. But anyway, I caught all these fish, and I think I caught 15. You can go to Major League's website and everything should line up. But 15 fish and only lost those 3. So pretty good execution day. I never did expand, never went anywhere else. I did have those bites further toward the point. If you look, in practice, I had several bites over in this area, but I didn't need to go over there. So ended the day one, with 20. I forget how much weight I had. Maybe it was 30 something pounds. You can go look at that. So now we're going to go back to my trips, and we're going to go to day 2. Boy, it's nice out here. This is the elimination round. And the whole idea in the elimination round is just to catch the least amount of fish possible. It's kind of silly. And they might even change it to give us some incentive, but I just wanted to idle, I just wanted to see if I could make the cut. And based on the weights from day 4, we figured that I needed about 25 pounds to make it. So here's my tracks on the elimination round, flying down to the same basic area. All 3 days of the tournament, I fished right here. No competitors in the way. On this day, one of the guys saw me. I got a pretty bright boat, and he wasn't in there on day 1, but was all over me on day 2, but he didn't do very well, so that was good. So you can see me coming in here, and I'm basically starting on that same point, which is right right here. It's right out in front of that boat ramp. I never caught any right on the point. So that's where I started fishing. I caught them as I moved in. So I'm going to go back to map view. We're going to look at, this is, what did I say? Elimination round. We'll toggle that on. Elimination round. And we're going to zoom in here and I'll show you. Also, let me see if this is the day. I think this is the day we went out. Yeah, this day I missed the trail. I was kind of racing somebody, and they were going slow and going straight, so I turned right through here, and it was dangerously shallow. I was blowing up mud. But that was a little scary to do right first thing in the morning. But I passed them. A new Mercury flies. It's unbelievable how good it handles. So let's go back down in here. We'll start. Whoops. Start where I started here. I just moved that one pin. This is elimination round. So I kind of remember, as you go through this, you kind of remember things. There should be 2 right there. So this other pin, I accidentally moved this one. It was probably in here somewhere, but we don't care about that. The main focus is, again, I started on this point, worked my way in, and these are misses and catches. These 2 bullseyes I hit, they don't represent anything. So we're just looking at these 2. I can actually move these out of the way. But these are misses and these are catches. So I lost 2, caught 2 in there. And remember, this is the elimination round. And it seemed like there was a lot going on right here. I was seeing bait moving and all that stuff. So I hurried up and you can see I didn't work around too much. I just got out of there, put the motor on high, caught another one, just in Nowheresville. Got into another area where I got some bites in practice and caught 3, lost a couple, and that gave me, I think I caught a couple more somewhere else. They're not here though. Oh, there they are. Fished all this, nothing. Was basically in practice mode and caught, these are actually 2 catches. So when you hit the bullseye once and you hit it twice, it does different things. So I was in a hurry and sometimes I hit it twice. There's a bullseye and a catch, but these are both catches. And that gave me 8 fish. There's the other ones right there. Oh, there they are. Okay. So the bullseyes are not supposed to be here, so I'll just move those out of the way. That's when I was checking to make sure. I had my phone in a compartment and I couldn't hear it beep. It dings when you hit the bullseye on your hat, and I couldn't hear it, so I would hit it again just to make sure I got those points. So that's all those are. So there's my 1, 2, 3 catches. There should be a total of 8 here. Let's just make sure. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I never went back. You can see this is my hot area right here. This is a new area that I felt like I found for the next day. And just managed to catch some more just fishing around. So had more than enough to easily make the cut. I think I dropped from 8th to 10th, but you could win or finish 20th and it meant nothing. So that was pretty much my elimination round. Now we're going to toggle that off and we're going to go to the knockout round. Trips. toggle this elimination round off. We're going to go knockout round, packs. Knockout round. See, as you add trips, it'll just keep piling up and piling up and piling up, and you'll have so much information. It's just never ending, which is so cool. Okay, so this is the final day. And I would, I screwed up a little bit. I just wish I could redo this whole day over again, but I had extra time in the morning. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back and show you that in my profile. We'll start this trip. My trips. Whoops. My trips.